Fog Entertainment back again with another movie review, and this one is Water for Elephants. It is, came out in 2011, and we're going to talk about the fact that I don't like circuses, right? And it's good, real. To be honest, it kind of does have something to do with like animal cruelty, but see, it's all a bunch of inbred gypsies. I'm sorry, that is just the reality of it. Is people with nowhere else to go, and they're all freaks, right? There, I said it. Never liked them, never will. And it's just a fucking mess. And to be honest, this movie, for me, highlighted how much of a mess that circuses are. I mean, I know the whole gimmick is, they're supposed to be attractions. Midget men. Big 7-foot guys that are obese. But for me, if I want to see midgets or 7-foot guys, I'll watch pro wrestling, damn it. I'll watch Hornswoggle against the Great Khali. I'm not going to watch a couple of Diddy men have a wee square go inside of a circus. And also, the other thing I didn't like, I mean, considering this movie is centered in a circus, right, I'm not really going to like it. But I think there is some good actors in this. You've got Christoph Waltz. To me, he's the main man. You've also got Hal Holbrook playing Jacob Jankowski in the future, on the present, and then you've got Robert Pattinson playing Jacob Jankowski in the past. So I like the way the movie did start in the present. He talks about, that great circus disaster, and he's like, oh, were you there? And he's like, yeah, I was there. Then he looked at a photo and he sees his wife, Marlena Rose, played by Reese Witherspoon. And I tell you what, Reese Witherspoon is one of a fucking overrated actress. I actually couldn't even name you a movie she's been in with 100% confidence. I actually couldn't. And you know what? She was shit in this, and it's actually the fact that she would have easily, I think in this movie, she'd have been the highest paid actor/actress, I think so. Maybe Christoph Waltz, right, would have been, maybe slightly. But you know what? If he was, fucking deserves it. The only reason this movie actually got watched because he was in it, and he was the main event player. He was the guy, and of course he was the leader, the owner, whatever you want to call it, of the circus. So what happens is that Jacob in the present narrates it, but then it like quickly changes into Jacob Jankowski, whose parents are killed in a car crash. And because he's Polish and they're immigrants to America, the police are like, here, there's actually no real proof that you're here, big man, so the house does no longer belong to your family or you, and see that college degree you wanted? Go fuck yourself, buddy. So pretty much, here, he gets hoovered out of his house and he's left with nothing, so he goes on the run. Well, I say on the run, he's not going to be arrested, but he's homeless now. So he starts walking along these train tracks, and he eventually gets on their train, the circus train. But I tell you what, right, pretty shit for him that he was from a pretty well-off family, and, you know, America is obviously better than Poland at this stage, even though we are in the Great Depression period. If you waited about 10 more years, mate, in Poland, things probably wouldn't have been good for you. I.e., the German invasion of Poland, September 1st, 1939. So I don't think Jacob Jankowski could really think that he's been hard done by here, because realistically, things could have went seriously tits up for him if his family decided to stay in Poland. But you know what they did? They made the big move. The Americano, man. They made the big move, and that is really all that matters for him. But of course, it was kind of predictable what was going to happen. Of course, Marlena Rose is in fact the lover of Christian Wolf's character, August. And yeah, but a love triangle develops here. The main attraction, horse, gets sick. Oh no! So what do we do? I'm going to buy an elephant, as Big Christoph said. And yeah, that's where the title of this movie comes from, Water for Elephants. And essentially what it is Jacob Jankowski can't bring himself to like poke the elephant to get it to like do tricks. So August has to take over, right? And here, he's poking the elephant, and like the elephant's bleeding a wee bit. But like Jacob Jankowski, if he's got such a fucking problem with it, right? See, instead of getting rich off the circus, why don't you fucking confront the guy and batter him? If you've got such a problem with him like being cruel to animals, I just don't get people who just. This guy came across as very weak in this movie, man. So many times where, you know, his love interest is in trouble, or he's in trouble, or like people he cares about, like his friends at the circus, are in trouble, and he just openly gets barred. He gets like no comeuppance. He gets saved by everyone else. And it's like, this old guy is telling this story in the future. You think he might have fabricated a few things in order to make himself look a bit better, because he looked like a little bitch, Jacob Jankowski. But he is played by Hal Holbrook, who is sadly dead, but, you know, of course, he's been in a lot of things, notably Nate in Sons of Anarchy, and as soon as I noticed him, I was like, oh, this guy, but then we didn't really get to see him until the end of the movie. But before we get to the end of the movie, we've got to talk about the incident, because of course the whole reason this story is explained is because of the Great Circus Incident in 1931. I believe it was 1931, where essentially some people free all the animals. You've got tigers, you've got lions, you've got orangutans, you've monkeys, I think you've actually got snakes as well. Fucking hyenas running about. And yeah, and then you've got like a fair go here between August and Jacob. But yeah, like I said earlier, he loses this fight. He loses every sort of scuffle he gets into in this fight. It really is quite embarrassing. But what happens is Big August gets stood on by the elephant he's been beating the entire movie. So yeah, a bit of, comeuppance, but at the end of the day, am I supposed to care for this guy getting with Reese Witherspoon's character Marlena? No, I was rooting for August. Yep, he was an elephant bear, not exactly proud of that, but the other two just didn't interest me. And you take Christoph Waltz at this movie, and it's fucking pish. Not that the movie's great, but, it ends with them living happily ever after, then it transitions back to the present, and he's like, she died 10 years ago. And turns out he's lost. He's got a bit, he doesn't have dementia, I don't think, but he's in a care home, and he's not exactly, doing too well. So that's it for Big Jacob Jankowski. Will they make a second one? No, there's not really another one to make, but at the end, I mean, it was alright. It does what it said on the tin, man, but for me, the circus is fully inbred bastards, guys, and that's where we're going to leave this movie review. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was alright, but it was average. It didn't blow me away. So until then, peace.